I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit worried about these, but I think they've actually done a good job here. It's Heresy Thursday, which means some Horus Heresy goodness, and this time, finally, the Night Lords have got their Mark 6 helmets. And I have to admit, I've been a little bit concerned about these ones, just because I feel like the helmets for the Mark 6 bodies have been a little bit hit and miss. There's been a few that have been absolutely grand and fantastic. There's been a few that have just been outright goofy and I've absolutely hated. I'm sorry, Space Wolves players. It's fine. You can like them. That's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't like them. They just weren't for me, you know? The fact is that when it comes to the Night Lords, it'd be very easy to go from spooky, scary, intimidating to hilarious edgelord nonsense, and I really didn't want them to stray into hilarious edgelord nonsense, primarily because the current Night Lords, like Legion Terror Squad pack that is on Forge World, they are fantastic helmets. They look absolutely grand. They are just the right amount of scary, they're just the right amount of intimidating. It's clearly based on terror tactics and instilling fear into the enemy. They didn't go completely overboard, they're not covered in bat wings, they don't look like Halloween decorations, they actually look like properly scary helmets for properly scary warriors. And that theme is still very much in effect for the new Mark 6 heads because they look great. There's a nice mix of kind of weird skull effect going on, but there's also what looks like a bit of the wing motif going across the cheeks there on the helmet. I'm not as big a fan of the ones that have that kind of like faux rib cage kind of bone decoration in the centre of the helmet. I think having some sort of like cracked skull there instead would have been preferable for me personally, but then again, I'm a big sucker for those helmets on the old pack, and you don't really want to just do exactly the same thing again, because if they were just completely interchangeable, if they just looked exactly like the other pack that you can get, well, there'd be no point in them making these because no one would buy them, because the other ones are available. These are different enough to stand out, but they are also similar enough that they don't look out of place, they don't look like they're from some other universe, they actually work super well. I really feel like that lower visor look with the bone being concentrated on the lower part of the helmet, kind of going over the front where the rebreather bit is, and then having the cables coming out just below that, it makes them look super intimidating. I don't know whether it was something that was consciously thought of when they were designing these, but the smaller, smoother cables looping down slightly almost gives a kind of entraily feel to it a bit. It doesn't look like there's loads of bulk added to the helmet either, so it's still a reasonable size. I really like the way those fangs are not symmetrical. You've got a different kind of size across each side of the helmet, which breaks it up a bit and makes it look a bit more organic. Overall, I think these are pretty damn solid. I'd say the bare head is actually pretty decent as well. That's okay. The helm for the squad leader's pretty good as well. I think the wings, I'm okay with them. I think I like them more than the wings on the Legion Praetor. So the Legion Praetor has got ones that go kind of just straight back, and it looks okay, but those, I think, look a bit more organic and a bit more interesting. It is also similar enough to the Legion Praetor that you can just put it down to a difference in the mark of armour between the two helms, and they would look absolutely fine next to each other, which is obviously important. You want there to be cohesiveness without it being a case of just looking like it's exactly the same. I really think this is a solid look. This is a good look for the Night Lords. I think they've done a decent job with these. They're not quite as unsettling as the existing upgrade pack. I will say that there's a few helmet variations in there that are a bit more scary, but overall they still really look the part for me. And of course we've also got the shoulder pads, which look fine. I think I prefer the Mark IV ones to the Mark VI ones, but then again I prefer the shape of the Mark IV ones anyway, so that's probably got something to do with it. Pretty decent overall. The question is, what do you think? Do you like them, not like them? Think they're intimidating enough? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.